So my 1998 Honda Accord has been cracking brake pads. This is the first one from 2010. And here's another one. That's pretty bad. And then you got the latest one, which caused the car to fail inspection. But I just wanted to show you how warped that is. Now if you put a straight line to it, you can see how much pressure that has been getting on the back of it. All three of these pads came from the same exact place, the left front wheel. More specifically, it's the rear pad, the one on the back of the rotor. Now at first, we thought that it was the caliper that was to blame. So we replaced this whole thing. So then we said problem solved. But then we did an inspection on the rear brakes and one of the pads was wearing very unevenly. I mean, look at this thing right here. This brake pad came from the left rear wheel. What was interesting about this brake pad was that it also came from the back of the rotor. So to try to solve the problem, we started with the most basic thing to do, and that is to bleed the brakes. And in fact, we found a big old air bubble in the right front wheel. Alright, so to find out whether the bleeding actually fixed the problem, I went back and checked on the brake pads 5,000 miles later. These are the brake pads for the front left wheel, and so far it looks pretty good. They've been wearing pretty evenly. Okay, so the brake pads for the front left wheel are wearing evenly. Now what about the pads for the rear left wheel? The pad you're looking at right now was the pad on the left rear wheel that was wearing all unevenly. But so far so good. Both pads look to be wearing pretty evenly and are looking pretty good. Now checking the brake pads from the front right wheel, they seem to be wearing pretty evenly and at the same rate as the front left wheel's brake pads. So far so good. Lastly, I checked the brake pads on the right rear wheel and they seem to be doing pretty good as well. That line that you see there is probably just some brake dust. I'm not really concerned about that at all. So, before you change the brake calipers and keep spending money on new brake pads, first thing to do is to bleed the brake lines to ensure air is not trapped in the brake lines because that causes uneven distribution of pressure in brake lines, and that could be the reason why your brake pads are cracking. There are plenty of good videos on YouTube that tell you exactly how to bleed your brake lines. And now if you do find air inside the brake lines, test out the brakes after 5,000 miles and check to see if the wear on the pads is even. So the wear on the right front side should be the same as the wear on the left front side, and the wear on the rear brakes should also be evenly distributed. Hopefully your brake pad problems are easy to solve like mine. Alright, thank you for watching.